The Wednesday week is sponsored by the Riverside Cafe, new outside bar now open on match days.
There's a chance here, a great save. A turner from McClare. Mike Hunt, a terrific goal by Sheridan.
Rexman against Jones. Get in.
You could have two goalkeepers in there that would have trouble saving that.
Hello and welcome to the Wednesday week, the Sheffield Wednesday podcast. I'm James. I'm in the hot seat for Lord Hillsborough tonight, who I believe if you happen to be at Meadowhall this evening, then you might see a guy in a top hat and suit running around panicking. That'll be him doing his last-minute Christmas shopping. But we do have a rare guest these days on the podcast. Back with us, Victoria. Where have you been?
Hello. I've been in hospital. I'm not going to lie. It's not been a great couple of weeks, but I'm okay now as long as I don't leave my bed or the house. But yeah, hi.
It's lovely to have you back, and to be fair, being in hospital is a fairly good excuse. It's better than Eddie's, which is just that he's drunk most of the time. Who incidentally isn't with us tonight, but we do have Dickie Owl.
Good evening, James and Victoria. I'm reeling from being called black today, so you know.
No, you can't say that. I didn't say it offensively.
No, you didn't. You didn't. I just not sure. Honestly, I think tanned was the word you used about me.
Yes, because you uploaded a photo of a lovely-looking black man and said this is Grandad so-and-so, and I was like, do I need to ask, or is anyone else going to ask?
Is that your dad? Rich, you look a little tanned. I'm nowhere near Jamaican, just a little bit Welsh, as you found out today.
Oh dear.
Similar.
We nearly made it through a whole minute of the podcast without some casual racism there. Well done, guys.
Oh no!
Just take the boat from Fudge.
Right then. So first things first. Let's look back at the weekend that was, and we had the Rotherham game on Saturday. It was a win.
We only beat them 1-0, James. Let's not forget that. We only beat them 1-0. That's what they're all saying.
It was a success if you're a Rotherham fan, wasn't it?
It was.
But you know what? All in all, so in the space of that week, we had 2 South Yorkshire derbies, 6 points, 2 clean sheets. It's got to be a good week, hasn't it?
Fantastic, isn't it? I didn't expect that, to be fair. I obviously missed the Barnsley game. Well, I listened to it with the window open. But
you hear the mill stand from your house.
I can hear it as well as see it. Yeah. But I wasn't expecting that, and I was so pleased. I think we were all quite worried about the Fessy situation, which I'm sure we'll come to in a little bit. But it was so nice to actually get those 6 points, and yes, it was hard fought in the Barnsley game, I believe, as far as I could hear on Radio Sheffield. But the Rotherham game was tough. It was a horrible game of football, wasn't it? It was just awful. But to get that last minute penalty and to get that goal and to get those 3 points was just fantastic.
I think of the last 3 games we took 6 points, 2 points per game, and that's kind of what the average you need to be getting, isn't it? 2 points a game. So we can't be too upset about the last 3 games. Just let's see how we go into Christmas. But it was nice to stuff another late goal at Rotherham. We seem to be doing to us at Hillsborough quite regularly at one point. So it was nice to stick one back up.
It was the first time that we'd beaten Rotherham in quite a while, wasn't it? And I'm not going to say that I'm not going to take entire credit for this. But if you listen back to last week's podcast, I did say I will take a rubbish game of football and the 94th minute winner. So. You know, someone was listening. Maybe it was the referee who was listening, who, we've got to be fair about this, he had a stinker, didn't he? We expected this.
Wasn't it?
We know him well, obviously, from Hull away last season and what happened there. But a referee who seemed to completely misunderstand the concept of a derby game and how to keep the game flowing. It was a poor refereeing performance. Two main things that we've got to talk about, really, which is, should Rotherham have been 1-0 up at half-time? And secondly, was it a penalty? So where do you guys stand on these two things?
I'm not going to lie, I've not watched it back yet. It's still on my Virgin Media box, so I've not seen their non-goal. But obviously, as we've heard today, Richard Wood's red card has been rescinded. So does that mean, therefore, it wasn't a penalty? Was it a penalty? I don't know. I'm glad that it was. They can't take it back now. But I don't know.
Just to level using them, because there are other
I've got Sky as well,
satellite people. You got both. Bloody hell, posh get.
How I roll. How I roll with my 2 up, 2 down in Hillsborough.
But at their goal, there wasn't a lot wrong with it, was there? I didn't think.
It was
their
watching it
non-goal.
back. It was hard to see what he'd pulled them up for. Apparently, he says that he saw a two-handed push by their player, which it was. Watching it back, it's really difficult to see how he's spotted that. Plus, he's not in a bad position. It's not like he's got particularly any excuse. It's from a free kick. He's supposed to position himself in a way that he can see what's going on. But we'll take it, won't we?
Absolutely, all day long.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of the penalty, the red card, the law is slightly different now to what it was, which is that when a penalty is given, the offender should not be sent off. They should only be booked as long as the referee feels that it was a genuine attempt to get the ball and not deliberately hacking down the player to stop them scoring. I mean, personally, I've watched it a few times and I kind of struggle to see how clear a foul it is. I think there's a bit of contact there. I think most of the time you probably see those not given, although by the letter of the law, there is some contact, so he's entitled to give a penalty if he wants. But I think it's pretty clear that he is going for the ball, therefore it was a very harsh red card and probably the right decision in hindsight for that to be rescinded.
But if that foul occurred outside the area, would it have been given? And yes, it probably would have, wouldn't it? It's just because it's in the penalty area.
But this is kind of like an ideal world argument, isn't it? Because it's inside the penalty area, and therefore, for whatever reason, rightly or wrongly, slightly different rules apply, don't they? Referees are more cautious about giving fouls inside the box because it's a penalty. I'm not saying that's right or that's wrong, but that's just the way that football is in 2016. It's the way of the world.
Can I just point out, until that moment, I pretty much didn't realise Richard Wood was playing. He's just disappeared, hadn't he? He got a new haircut. It was just no idea he was there.
For me, Richard Wood, who shat on us from a great height when he went to Coventry, for whatever reasons, he looked a little pained and discombobulated, I think, when a penalty was given and he got the red card. But I got it in.
Smoothly done.
Yeah, thank you. And it was kind of 2 fingers back up to him after he kind of gave us a big metaphorical 2 fingers when he left all that time ago. Not that we'd ever miss him now, but there we go.
Now look, we've had a bit of stick from some fans about the performance, and there were people such as Eddie who wanted us to go and stuff them 6-0, and a few people having a bit of a moan about the fact that it wasn't a classic game of football, and we certainly weren't at our best. But particularly second half, it felt like it was just wave after wave, wasn't it? It was just one-way traffic. What was it a case of Rotherham just defending so resolutely?
I think they came to park the bus, without a doubt. They were time wasting from very early on, and I just think it was. If you look at the goal came from, or the penalty came from, I think it was Westwood chucking it into the box, and he was on the halfway line. But having watched the match back, a lot of our kind of attacks, we were all in their half constantly. That we were so high up the field, and it was just the ball was coming straight back out and going straight back in. And I think we've talked about it before. It's like I would take us going up ugly.
Yep.
Because performances.
I would, but it was bloody awful, wasn't it?
Performances don't get points.
They don't. But come on, that was terrible. What an awful game of football to watch. That.
I'm gonna be happy, Clapper. We got.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we did. But Jesus Christ, we've got to really, really book our ideas up in the next few days before Newcastle, because that was terrible. It was just horrible, horrible football game from start to finish. There was nothing, nobody stood out, nobody looked good. It was just, oh God. Didn't help that I was still on Tramadol.
rewind to March, and Rotherham are bottom end of the table in the bottom three. They come to Hillsborough. We're on a great run of form. We're expected to spank them. We kind of do in terms of possession, and we throw everything at them, and we lose the game 1-0. So is it a bad thing that this season, where again, it's not great in terms of football? I don't think we were terrible. I think that's really harsh. I think that we played, all right. It wasn't brilliant, but it certainly wasn't terrible. But we get 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, if you're going to go up, you're going to have games where that happens. You're not going to storm every game. And all right, at the moment we're not really storming any games, are we? But
and you guys went to Barnsley. Obviously, I didn't go, but that was pretty bad as well, wasn't it? Are we just in a bit of a trough at the moment? Is that the sort of situation, or are we just playing as bad as our opponents? I don't know.
I can't answer it. I didn't go to Barnsley game either. I was watching Vic and Bob.
Oh yeah, you were.
Well, I went to the Barnsley game. I'm sure, as you both know, we talked about it at length on the podcast last week. I'm sure you both have listened to that intently afterwards.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So we've probably covered all this ground already, but you know what? Football is about winning games ultimately, and 2 games that we always knew were going to be difficult. And I bet you anything, right? If we'd have sat down in the Riverside before the Barnsley game and we'd have said, "Look, I'll make you an offer now. We'll win these 2 games. We'll get 6 points from them. We'll keep 2 clean sheets, but we're not going to play brilliantly in either of them, and certainly one of them is going to be a fairly dull game of football." Would you have said, "Yep, I'll snatch your hand off"? Or would you have said, "No, actually, I think I'd rather us put the performance in, and let's take the risk of not getting the results"?
All right.
I'm with you all day long, James. You know I am, darling.
All right.
Yeah, it was still shit though, wasn't it?
But it was 3 points. All right, let's talk about something a bit different then. Let's talk about the return of Alman Abdi, his first game for quite some time. Obviously, didn't manage to see the game through. His injury problems clearly not quite behind him as yet. But what did you make of him when he was on the pitch?
I think the injury problems thing is a bit harsh there, James, because I would go off if someone booted me in the shoulder numerous times on the floor. I think I'd go off with a poorly shoulder, to be fair. And how that wasn't given, I'll never know. That was disgusting. That was right in front of where I sit. And that was awful. So fair play to him for hobbling off with that. Like, Jesus Christ, it was barbaric.
And I just thought that we just said, the guys, me and one of the guys behind me, I just said, "Oh look, Abdi's actually starting to do a little bit today. He was starting to look all right," and then it kind of got whipped from under his feet, so we didn't kind of get a chance to see her. I think I said this recently. I think when it was just you and me recently, James, on the podcast, I said, "But I think Abdi will come good. I think he will. It's just hopefully sooner rather than later."
Do you think though? I must admit, like, did you question the fact that he was kicked in the shoulder? We know that he's got shoulder problems. We know that's an issue. Is the cynic in me being a bit OTT by thinking that's the one place he was booted when he was on the floor and had to go off injured? Or is that something that they say, here's a weak spot, aim for that? Because you can't really do, if he's got a bad knee, then yeah, you can slide in on him, you can get him on his bad knee or whatever and get him sent to the stands poorly. But to boot the guy in the shoulder when you know he's got a shoulder injury, is that, I don't know, is that something that they've said beforehand? Let's kick the shit out of his shoulder.
I'm going to go all Arsene Wenger on you here. No, I'm not going to try a French accent at all. But I didn't see
go on. Can you do a Welsh accent? I bet you do a really good Welsh accent, don't you?
Can you zip up your own coat?
Shut up.
Okay, question for you. Did either of you two win the car?
No.
No, I didn't win anything either. My mum had thrown our tickets in the bin. So I was like, Mum, seriously, get them out of the bin. They've just drawn them on the website. So she had to go rooting through the black bin, and we still didn't win ours.
I bet she was chuffed about that.
I bet that was a picture. The next door neighbour's looking out and Babs' arse end in the bin.
You know what Mum's like? She'll have had like arm-length pink marigolds and like diamantes around the top. She won't have just gone in there barehanded.
And Bill stood there shaking his head while she was doing it.
It was also reassuring to see at half-time. Obviously, I missed the draw because I went down. It was my turn to go down for half-time beers. It was reassuring to see that even though the length of the queues has been sorted by the new till system, which is brilliant, but when I got to the front of the queue and I asked for several pints of the pale ale that they sell on the north stand, I was told, no, sorry, that's run out. So I went, all right, well, I'll have 4 Guinness instead, please. So she came over with 4 cans of Guinness, and as she was pouring them, one of the other people serving went and stole the 4th can of Guinness to give to someone else. And then she says, oh, sorry, there's no Guinness left. So I said, well, what have you got? And she said, well, we've got Heineken. So I'm like, oh, I'll have to have Heineken then. And she went, that'll be another 10p, please. I went, are you kidding me?
You were furious. It was
I
brilliant.
had to pay an extra 10p in order to drink a bottle that's half the size of a can of Guinness. And is vile. So normal service very much resumed when it comes to half-time at Hillsborough. But forget all that, because the important thing came after the game, which was the Christmas party at the Riverside.
Party!
And we were there. I was partying until the wee small hours of the early evening with your kids mainly, wasn't it, Rich? We were having a whale of a time.
There's a fantastic picture of you and Reece that I found next morning. Don't go there. But yeah, there's a lovely picture of you two just sat there. Like, I'm going to send it to our Facebook group as we speak. But I didn't even know you took that picture, or Reece took that picture. But yeah, so you saved me a job that night. I didn't even have to pay you to babysit them either.
It was so cute. Like James just like sat in the corner, like the weird uncle that you just shove in a corner with all the kids, just playing, just having a nice time.
He
just
has
having
become
a lovely time.
He has become Uncle James now to Reece and Riley.
Oh, James.
Oh, James, cutie.
Well, anyway, I mean, I had a whale of a time. Did you two enjoy yourselves?
Yeah, we had a good time. There was Mr. Greedo turned up and we had a chat with him.
Mr. Greedo came. That was so nice. Bless him. Yeah, it was quieter than we hoped, I think. But I think there were a lot of people downstairs as well, because obviously we cancelled the ticket sales. We just said everyone come for free. We got chip buddies from the Riverside Cafe free of charge.
Good. Yes, big thanks to Chris for that.
Yeah, awesome. And it was a lovely night. There was a group of people by the end of the night. Obviously, I was a bit kind of sat in a chair like a miserable old cow. But it was so lovely that there were so many different people that came along. Obviously, we got John came along, who is Al. What's his username? I don't even know his username.
Oh, I can't remember.
Al.
Come on, guys.
Olive Grove.
Olive Grove.
He
there
came
we go.
along.
SWFC Vines was there.
Yes, of course. And obviously all the cop end. It was really nice. Like we were all just kind of sat around just chatting. It was really festive, and big thanks to David for coming along as well. That was really nice of him.
The funniest bit for me.
Sorry, just before that, I have to point out it was very festive. However, there was some foul play going on because me and Richard's kids were busy building a tower of empty beer plastic glasses. I point out this was not dangerous, which at some points or another we actually managed to build quite a good structure from it until Cleggy and his mates from the cop end started lobbing things from the other side of the pub to knock it down.
That was really poor.
That's not very festive. That's not very festive at all.
We're all Wednesday, aren't we, Cleggy?
But the kids did get their own back by sneaking under the table and tying his shoelaces together,
That's true.
I can't believe he didn't actually notice.
That was brilliant.
That was so funny when he got up and realised, oh shit, I can't walk. Is this the alcohol, or have I had my shoelaces tied together?
It was all in all a very mature evening, wasn't it? Very mature.
It was lovely. It was very calm, very sophisticated. It was really nice, guys, and it was exactly what I needed.
Whether you're celebrating a birthday, a wedding or anniversary, maybe you've passed your driving test, or you've landed a new job. Well, whatever your reason for a party, the Riverside Cafe is the perfect location on Catch Bar Lane overlooking Hillsborough Stadium. To inquire about hiring us for your function, call 07989 856 054 or 0114 232 6121. Well, it's been a quiet week when it comes to Wednesday news, as I suppose we'd expect, with it being the week leading up to Christmas. But yeah, not a lot going on. However, the club have a nice little festive touch that they've done this week by sending out signed Christmas cards to all our. I want to call them like Wednesday youth members, but that makes it sound like it's some kind of firm that sort of drink Mad Dog 2020 or something like that, which is not really the case. But all kind of, I assume under
16-year-old
club members and season ticket holders have all had a signed Christmas card from the club.
I want one next year.
Apart from your kids.
Yeah, apart from my kids don't have a card from the club. So unless they were doing some kind of under 10s, or I've no idea, or ours have got lost in the post.
It could be under 10s, to be fair. Everyone that I've seen has got quite young children that have got them. But I want one next year. Please,
I'll send you
Mr.
one,
Chancery, can I...
I'll make you a
signed by you. I want one signed by the team. But how nice is that, though? Because I remember being a junior owl back in the day, and we got, one year, I remember getting told to go to the club shop at Christmas and collect your free gift. And it was a fucking blue and yellow McDonald's branded scarf.
Get in.
That was it. That was your Christmas gift. And I think you had to spend X amount to get that gift. But yeah, it's so nice to see. And how excited would you be I would at 28 years old. I'd be so giddy to get that card. That was a really, really nice thing from the club.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Otherwise, this week, I mean, there's not a lot really to talk about. What we do know is that tickets for the Wolves game, which is the first game of 2017 on the bank holiday Monday, which I think is the 2nd of January. Obviously, we're doing half-price tickets for this one. Now, Rich, me and you, when we sat in the steering group meeting, and both the chairman and the ticket office manager told us that when they've done cheap offers for games before, it hasn't made a difference in the number of tickets that have been sold. But these are selling like hotcakes. Does this prove that cheaper tickets can work?
I think so. I think it's a time of year as well. I mean, a mate of mine, it's a foundation game as well. So literally, you get tickets for 20 quid for this game, but they're even halving the foundation prices. So a mate of mine's been down today and got a ticket for 10 quid. So how good is that? You know, that you really can't knock Mr. Chancery for dropping in stuff like this. And it does prove that these offers do work, because there'll be, I mean, he couldn't get on the nose stand. It's rammed full. So, you know, it's I think it's going to be a 30,000 crowd potentially on that day.
And the thing is, as well, people moan about it, don't they? Saying, "Oh, we paid for a season ticket, blah, 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 blah. We want cheap tickets as well." But actually, how exciting is it to go to Hillsborough when you know it's going to be a massive crowd that's going to be there? It just makes it more of a day out. It makes it more exciting. You think, oh my God, the atmosphere is going to be amazing. It's just post-Christmas. Everyone's going to be in a good mood and wearing the Christmas jumpers. And I think it's a really, really good thing.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I mean, it's those two games, kind of like the Boxing Day game and then the New Year's Day game, which is obviously a day late this year. But they're the two when you want to get one of those at home and you want it to be a full house, don't you? And it's nice for us that we've got an offer on that means that we're going to have hopefully pretty much a full house. We're going to be pushing 30,000. You would imagine that Wolves will bring a fair few as well. It should be a real good atmosphere, that, and hopefully.
Are you taking credit for it, James?
As well.
Is this Sheffield Wednesday away for the Wolves fans? Is this it? Are they all going to be wearing T-shirts and say, "Can we talk about Sheffield Wednesday away"?
I tell you what, I did come up with a theory at the weekend that I wonder whether or not, because obviously we went to Wolves and they were doing an offer where I think it was something like £15 or £20 or something for all home tickets, and they charged us like whatever it was. It might even have been £10 for home fans, and then it was like £30 for away fans. I'm not sure whether or not the club are doing this just to try and spite Wolves.
Yeah, I think so.
Because they're charging it's full price for away fans, which is definitely the case and what they're definitely doing. So it's 38 or whatever it is for Wolves fans, and then half price for home fans.
Yep. There we go. Back at you.
I'm comfortable with that. I'm happy with that.
Absolutely.
We'll
money in the coffers, of the tuna books. In fact, talking of tuna books, I bought some John West salmon tonight, so I was quite pleased with myself. Just adding that little bit to the Jordan Rhodes pot.
My dog's having John West salmon for a breakfast tomorrow. How exciting!
That's sick. Stop feeding that kind of. Give it some Morrison's rubbish.
Oh, I've run out of dog food. There's John West salmon in the cupboard. It's just easier, and she likes it. It makes her happy, and it's Christmas.
Well, I suppose, yeah, and I suppose if it's making a little difference to the you know, to
Exactly,
our
that could be our new striker. That could be Jordan Rhodes come January. That tin of salmon in the cupboard.
just that tin of salmon tipped it over the edge.
I'm taking credit.
Is it pink or red salmon?
It's pink. It's pink, and it's farmed fairly. So yeah.
Welcome to the Salmon News Podcast. Brilliant. Anyway, so the Wolves game on the 2nd of January, we need to make the most of this because it's going to be one of our last few remaining Saturday 3 o'clock kickoffs that we have left this season.
Yeah.
Because another game's been moved for Sky.
It's a
We're
Monday.
famous.
It's a Monday, not a Saturday.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but it's a day where we're all off.
It's a 3 p.m. kickoff. Yes,
it's
you're right.
effectively a Saturday. It's a Saturday by association. So Leeds, which is back end of February, it's about the 25th of February or something like that. So that has, as we all knew it would do, that's been brought forward for Sky. I saw a tweet earlier that made me laugh from George's SWFC 67, who put 3 things are certain in life: death, taxes, and Leeds away on Sky at 12:30, which made me chuckle. So that one's going to be on Sky, which gives us all an excuse to not have to go to dirty Leeds, which certainly for me I'm very happy about because I hate going there. And we're going to be on TV again. So I reckon, is that 3 times in February that we're on TV now?
About 5 games coming up in the next 2 months where we're actually on Sky. Where there's a Friday night and everything, all sorts of stuff going on, isn't there? I think.
Do you know the good thing about it though? Like, guys, if you think about when you watch Sky games and you go, "Oh, I'll watch Watford versus Palace or whoever," but you end up like rooting for one of those teams. So the amount of people that'll be watching that on that day, that there's not probably going to be a lot going off or whatever in February. It's quite nice to think that you might get 1 or 2 secondary fans out of it as well, and it's always a good thing, because everyone hates Leeds as well, so we're going to get 2 out of 2 secondary fans, aren't we?
Here's a question: where would you find all of the following in one place? Chairs, tables, beer, Vic, James, more beer, Dick Yow, Eddie, more beer, and the rest of the Wednesday week gang. That's right, it's the Riverside Cafe's new outside bar. All of your favourite lagers, ciders, soft drinks and hand pump ales are now available outside. Come and see the gang and give it a try. The Riverside Cafe's new outside bar, now open on match
So
days.
Wednesday are back in action then this coming weekend, and I say this weekend, it's actually not, is it? Because we play on Monday technically, although we'll all have forgotten what day it is and whatever by then. But yes, Monday, Boxing Day, we are away at Newcastle. Again, another game that's on Sky. It's a 7:45 kickoff. And, two main kind of headlines as we go into that game. One is the return of Fernando Forestieri, which is good news for us. And secondly, Newcastle without... I would say one of their best players, but I don't think there's anyone in their team that's not one of their best players. But Jonjo Shelvey, who is out suspended, it's been confirmed this evening that he's not appealing that suspension, so he will definitely not be playing on Monday, which is also pretty good news for us as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, talking of Forestieri, I was having my haircut the other day, and
have you had a Forestieri haircut?
No, funnily enough, I haven't. No. Kane, who cuts my hair, who I didn't realise, I did realise he was a Wednesday fan, but he's also apparently plays for Hallam, and I didn't know it. But there we go. He came up with a little conspiracy theory about Forestieri, in that obviously the last couple of games he played for us, he was playing out of his skin, and he's played really well again, and all of a sudden he gets sent off, and then his next game he's available is against Newcastle, and he's in a bit of form. So his little conspiracy theory ticking in there with him, as he did he?
I think he's.
Did he get himself sent off?
It's just like Christmas off. That's it. Run up to Christmas, no worries, and then back for Boxing Day.
The other thing somebody pointed out as well was the fact that a link with Middlesbrough, which I'd not seen, but then that apparently Fessy and his agent both followed Karanka. and that's not rhyming slang, by the way. Followed Karanka and then unfollowed him about 24 hours later. So, roads for Forestieri.
Probably DM'd him saying, "Shall I come to Middlesbrough?" Nah. Okay. See you later, mate. Unfollow.
But would you take it? Roads for Forestieri.
No.
No.
I think
what's happened.
Get married for a start.
I would.
What's happened here?
Life depends on this signing.
I can relate to Fernando on this one, because clearly what's happened is he's out suspended. His wife is at home. Obviously, she's pregnant, so he's had a night off. He's popped out. He's had a couple of Belgian Blue, and he's done what we all do, where you've been messing around with your phone, and you just think, shall I follow him? Shall I not? Go on, let's see what happens. And you click that button, and then you wake up the next morning and think, oh, what did I do last night? And he's looked at his phone, realised he's followed Aitor Karanka, and thought, no, that was a mistake, and he's unfollowed him. It's all just down to Belgian Blue, basically. That's what this is. That's what it is.
So both his agent and him had the same.
Yeah, they were at the New Barrack Tavern together. Drinking the
that's
blue.
what it is. Yes, there we go.
There you go. Anyway, back in the real world, I personally, for me, anything that isn't an 8-0 defeat, I'll probably be relatively happy going to Newcastle.
Absolutely,
I'm trying to be realistic about it. I'm not going there expecting us to win. That's not to say that I don't think that we can, and I'm not saying that I'm expecting us to lose. But if we go there and we give it everything, and maybe we do come away with nothing, I'm not going to be unhappy. It's a game where, if we're realistic, we probably account for coming away empty-handed, isn't it?
To piss Lord H off, I'd be happy with a draw from there.
Oh, you can't say that. You can't say that.
The thing is, as well, it's on telly. It's not real, is it? It's not real when it's on telly. Like, you just turn the telly off and you go, oh, never mind. So it's not an actual game. So nobody worry unless you go into the game. If it's on telly, okay, no one knows.
Yeah, but we're all watching it on the biggest TV in the world at your mum's.
We are. Holla! Party time! Boxing Day!
Party! You're in your camper van, James. You've not been invited.
James,
no, I'm actually not going to the game. Yeah.
I thought you were up in your camper van with everybody.
No. That was the initial idea, but we revised it because the New York Owls are in town for Christmas. Cool. So Paddy and James and one or two others. I'm meeting up with them in town to watch it with them. So yeah, that's the plan. And it also means if we are 4-0 down at half time, I can bugger off and go and have a boogie somewhere.
Go and have a boogie.
Yeah, that's what the kids say these days, isn't it? Go and have a boogie.
I'd love to see you have a boogie.
Is that not right? Yes. So anything else to be said about Newcastle?
It's on the
I've
A1.
got many things to say about Newcastle. They've got a giant fairy. There's all sorts going on there, but not about the game.
Big statue.
They've got a big statue. I get. Isn't that's in Sunderland though, isn't it? Not in Newcastle.
Angel of North.
Yeah, it's kind of on the way.
It's a sand dancer. Geordie's on what I mean by that.
But sorry, Vic, did you say a giant fairy?
It's got wings.
It's an angel.
You're talking about the same thing, right? I get it.
Sorry.
I get it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't get it either.
Do you think it'd be really funny if someone put like a really tiny Christmas tree at the bottom of it? You've got massive angel, tiny Christmas tree. No? All right. Okay, so we'll move swiftly on. My worst joke of the year, and there's been a lot of contenders. Right, okay, let's have a grumpy old Owls moment, and this is one that I think that we can all join in with here. Today is the birthday of former Sheffield Wednesday, I'm going to say legend, who went on to great things actually, Dan Petrescu. He's not
a legend. Go away. He's not a legend.
Oh, he was. He's got to rank as one of our best fullbacks of all time, surely.
How many games? Let's have a look. How many games did he play for us? I bet it's less than 100. Let's have a look. We're going to have a look now. I'm Googling it while we speak.
He was a good player.
He's a good player. He wasn't a legend. Let's have a look. Here we go. He played 39 games for us, James. That's not legendary status.
Is that all it was?
He scored about 3 goals, though.
3 goals as well. Exactly right.
You've got Wikipedia too.
You've got Wikipedia as well, yes.
Are we withdrawing him from our Hall of Fame then? Is it a definite no to Dan Petrescu in the Grumpy Old Owls Hall of Fame?
You have all sorts of people on Twitter going ape at you.
For calling him a legend?
Yes.
Well,
Especially me.
It's been a week of people going ape at me on Twitter, so it'll be nice for someone to do it for that. That's fine.
Oh, do you need a big hug?
Yeah, thank you.
There's a metaphorical one. Yeah,
any members? Because he went to Chelsea after us, didn't he? And did he win the league with Chelsea?
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know,
it's a one-word answer for you.
In terms of football, then he's a legend. He's won the Premier League.
Now he might be a Bradford City legend, but Sheffield, not Sheffield Wednesday.
All right. Well, that's the best. That's the best I could come up with for grumpy old owls.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's really poor. Yeah.
All right. Vic, do you have any bits for us this evening?
I do. I have YouTube bits. So this week we were alerted to 2 YouTube channels, right? And I don't know. I can't find the actual Earls URLs, whatever. But if you search, show your face, right? If you search on YouTube for @world, which is ATT ''S world, and Nat Chansiri on YouTube, Mr. Chansiri's sons are vloggers. They vlog.
Bloody good one as well.
And they're really good. Yeah, they're brilliant. And they've got these cute little American accents. They're adorable, and they're so good at it. And they follow us on YouTube. Just saying. I follow the whole Chansiri family on Instagram, so I feel like I am a Chansiri at heart. But it's so cute. They go to games, and on Instagram when I follow them all, they'll be in Thailand, they'll be at a family meal, and there'll be people in the background just wearing Wednesday shirts. It's yeah. So yeah, follow them on YouTube @world and Nat Chansiri.
I only have one bit this week, but it starts with a question. So, do either of you have £15 going spare?
Depends what it's for. If it's for alcohol, then yes.
Well,
no.
After many months of getting stick, the Owls megastore, and I think we've got to do inverted commas as we say that, finally seems to be stocking up on stuff. It's only 2 days before Christmas, but yeah, finally stocking up on stuff. So new in today, we have, and Rich, I'm thinking this is for you, it's the mug, coaster and keyring set, priced at £15. It's very nice.
Mug, coaster and keyring. How's a keyring get associated with a coaster and a mug?
Well, it's
you could maneuver it onto the mug handle, couldn't you?
So you could sit there, watching television with your mug and your coaster, a nice cup of tea or coffee or whatever, while you play with your keys.
And then if there happens to be a ring at the door or a knock at the door, you've got your keys there.
Yes.
With your key ring on and everything. There's no pleasing some people, is there? Vic, I think you'll be happy with yours. So for your £15, you can get the brand new Sheffield Wednesday dog collar and lead set, which is actually
no way.
Actually, genuinely.
Are you serious? I'm going to buy it right now. Hold on.
Genuinely quite nice.
Okay. I'm going to buy it. I'm buying it.
They've got a little doggy coat to go with it as well. Is it one of those as well?
Hey, come on, one thing at a time.
We used to do dog shirts because I bought my friend one for his dog. Hold on. Right, where
dogs and clothes.
I've just tagged you in it on Twitter.
Yes,
are you genuinely going to buy this right now? This is
I
amazing.
really am. I'm buying it right now. How do I find it?
Are you actually going to buy it to be delivered to your house? Seeing as you, don't you live in the attic of the North Stand?
Oh my God, that's adorable! Oh, she's having that. She's having it. Add to basket. There we go. Live on the podcast. I'm spending £15 of money that I don't have. But it's payday today, so it's fine.
My work here is done.
Enter your email address. Oh, fuck's sake.
You can throw down your headphones and never record again now, James.
I feel I'm doing my bit here for the club coffers. When we do sign Jordan Rhodes in January and I face up to the fact that I've got to become a married man, then at least I'll know that I contributed slightly by convincing other people to spend their money in the club shop. Vic, while you're doing that, do you want to tell us how people can get hold of you if they do want to Inquire about what your mutt
thing.
looks like with the new collar.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Victoria1867. Sorry.
And I've got a little bit. You did this last time on me. Lord H did. I got a little bit.
All right, I'm coming to you in a minute. I'm just wrapping things up with Vic first. Rich, do you have any little bits this evening?
Funnily enough, I do. Yes. Oh. I've just come across something on the website today where I'd like to big up Mr. Terry, Terry, from Owls Online, and looks like some of the they basically donated some money to the club, which the club have also matched to buy some season tickets for the Children's Hospital.
I did see that earlier. That's really, really good. That's really
just a
nice.
big up to Terry. Very similar to the Smile kind of ticket scheme that Wednesday night did for a while. But yeah, Terry's mug's on the website, and he's looking absolutely ravishing as always.
Excellent. If anyone wants to see your mug, how would they track you down on their Twitter?
They can find me at Dickie Owl, and mainly in the New Barrack Tavern for the next week.
Nice. Have fun.
Belgium Blue.
Say hi to Aussie Owl if he happens to be in there.
No, I'll see Aussie. I nearly called him by his other name. Aussie. Yes, Aussie. I shall sit at that 9-foot owl.
This website's a piece of shit. Now I need to add an 01 or 02 telephone number. I don't have an 0102. Oh.
What are you done about? You're trying to this lead.
Use mine. Use my work one. I'll tell you in a minute. We've got a podcast to wrap up here.
Sorry, you told me to buy it, so I'm buying it.
You can't get the stuff. If you want to find me on Twitter, I am at James Marriott. You can get the podcast at TWWcast. You can track us down all the normal ways. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. Are we on Instagram? Have we got an Instagram page?
We are on Instagram. Yes.
We don't use it though, do we?
Instagram. We do use it. Yes.
Oh,
yes. There's lots of grumpy old owl shit going on there. Yes.
Oh, apparently we do. If you are a grumpy old owl like we are, then you might want to.
£4 delivery.
For God's
you
sake.
live around the corner.
Exactly.
Go fetch it.
Anyway, in the meantime, then it's been an absolute pleasure this evening, and have a brilliant Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. It's going to be 72 hours from now. Bloody hell. I'll just go tomorrow. I'm not buying it online. It's a right joke.
What have you created, James?
There's a chance here, a great save. A turner from McClare. Mike Hunt. A terrific goal by Sheridan.
Brentman against Jones. Get in.
You could have two goalkeepers in there that would have trouble Vic saving that.
Because everyone hates Leeds as well, so we're going to get 2 out of 2 secondary fans, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right then, let's look ahead then to. Sorry, did I miss something there?
No, you just
Ignored Vic's last comment. Yeah.
Well, it sounded like a rhetorical. It sounded rhetorical.
Rhetorical.
Sorry, that means like a question that doesn't necessarily warrant a response.
Thank you. Thanks for
Like, could you just close that window? You wouldn't say, yes, I can. You'd just close the fucking window, wouldn't you?
Not now I wouldn't. I'd tell you to close your own fucking window.
Fucking window.
Game window. Right. Yes, Vic, I think that's a very good point and very well made.
I love you.